My name is Ramsi. I am a customer experience director at IBM Studios in Dubai. Before I kick off my presentation today, I want to start off with something that's very close to my heart, something that I live by, especially at work. The last best experience that anyone has anywhere becomes the minimum expectation that experience they want everywhere. Now I want you guys to think about that for a second and think about what your last best experience was. Right? And that last best experience could be, I don't know, going to the movies last time, or going for a run, or maybe listening to a really awesome presenter. I don't know, right? But when we think about our last best experiences, right, what is it that makes it? What makes it that last best experience? And it's really about creating something that's memorable, something that you can remember so vividly, right? Remembering every touch point, right? Every interaction you have, right? And that's what really drives these kind of memorable experiences. So I want to share my own personal last best experience that I had, okay? A little while ago, I was in San Francisco, and I was walking around the city, and I passed by a Nike store. And I'm like, okay, I need to buy a pair of running shoes, so I just decided to jump in. As I jump in, when I walk into the store, I see there's just walls of shoes, right, everywhere. So I'm kind of thinking, all right, where do I start? So one of the sales reps comes up to me, and he's like, I can help you. And I'm like, yeah, I need to buy a pair of running shoes. So he's like, okay, what kind of runner are you? I have absolutely no idea. Other than a slow one, I have absolutely no idea, right? So I told him, I don't know. He's like, that's no problem at all. He's like, do you have a Nike ID account? And I'm like, yeah, I do. So he takes out his tablet, and he was just like, can you put in your email address here? So I put in my email address, and once I do, it pulls up my profile, my Nike Plus profile. And there it's got my runs, and it's got my gear, and it's got the music I listen to, and all kinds of stuff, right? So he's like, oh, okay, you're a size 11. So he pulls out any random pair of shoes. So another sales rep comes up with a size 12, a size 11 shoe, right? And he's like, try it on, let's go for a run. So about 2 meters from me, there's a small treadmill. So I get on this treadmill and start running, just for 30 seconds. Otherwise, I probably would have been exhausted, just for 30 seconds. And as I'm running, he's taking that tablet and he's recording my run from the side and then from the back. And then after 30 seconds, when I get off the treadmill, he basically plays back that recording, and he stops it at a specific frame, right, on his tablet. And with his finger, he draws a line from my knee to my ankle, right? And the app then determines that I pronate. It's like you pronate. I'm like, okay, right? So it turns out, I guess I run on the inside part of my foot. But based on that, he then shows me the tablet, and he tells me, these are the 4 shoes that we have that are in your size for people who pronate. There's another list below for shoes that are available online if you like. So I picked 2 shoes. I'm like, okay, can I see these 2? Again, through the app, some other sales rep comes up and gives me 2 boxes of shoes. I try on both of them. I like one of them. I'm like, okay, I'll take this. And he's like, okay, cool. He's like, should I check you out right here? All right, keep in mind, I haven't left a radius of about 2 meters, yeah? So I'm just like, yeah, for sure. So again, from his tablet, right? I give him my credit card, swipe, pay for it, and I'm out. By the time I got back home, I got an email from Nike saying that all of this information, the video, everything was added to my Nike Plus account. Right? So that, for me, is my last best experience. And I'll be completely honest. Right? Every time I walk into a sporting store or any kind of store, right, I'm just a little bit disappointed. Right? But that's just how it is. Right? And when we think about that, and we think about these kind of expectations that we now have, right? The trend that we're seeing is that it's not specific to a brand, to a product, right? It's not just for retail anymore, right? So if I have these kind of experiences at Nike, I'm going to want some of those same experiences when I interact with my bank, when I interact with my healthcare provider, right? So these are the experiences that we really want to try to create. So today, we're going to answer this question, right? How can organizations use design to orchestrate memorable experiences, right? Now, in order to answer the how, we need to answer the what and the why, right? So let's start with the what. What is design? This is a textbook definition of design, okay? The purpose, planning, or intention that exists behind an outcome, action, fact, or material object. I had to read that off the slide, yeah? That's a lot of words, okay? But the key takeaway to this is that you don't see anything about typography, you don't see iconography, right? Color palettes, you don't see any of that kind of stuff. Now, if I were to take this textbook definition and simplify it to what we define design to be, right? It's the intention behind an outcome. right? It's something that we are putting out into the world, right? A product, a service, an offering, right? To be able to deliver that outcome, okay? Design thinking, right, is the approach we take together to form that intent, okay? So, if we look at answering the what first, right? Now the why. So why design, right? Why are we all here today? Right? Because we all understand the importance, right, how essential design is to what we do every single day. And we at IBM have seen, right, that there's a convergence of three big shifts in the market. First is technology, right? Our technology landscape is changing, right? Whether it's where this information is stored, how we're accessing it, how we're using that data to create these kind of personalized experiences, right? That is changing fundamentally. The next one, demographics. Right? There are three numbers I want you guys to remember. 50, 10, 75. Currently, at a global level, 50% of our workforce is made up of millennials. And in 10 years, that number is going to go to 75%. Right? That's a big segment. The expectations, the standards that are defined by millennials are fundamentally different than any other generation. Right? And how do you cater to that? The last one is around the user experience landscape. Right? And that is changing every single day. Form factors are being introduced every single day. Before, initially, it was what? A website? Maybe a mobile app? Right? But now we're thinking about how do we design things when people go for runs? How do we design things for people who want to change their air conditioning at home? Right? These are the kind of big changes that we're seeing in the market. The bottom line to all of it is that the world is becoming rapidly more digital. Right? We're seeing it across industries, we're seeing it across geographies, right? Everything is moving towards this digital era. And the one underlying theme behind all of it, right, behind all of these big shifts, behind everything moving towards digital, is experience. Right? And at the end of the day, experience is everything. So, this year marks the 10-year anniversary of the iPhone, right? Steve Jobs says it best, right, when the next decade we'll see a design revolution. And as much as I actually want to just take Steve Jobs' word for it, right, we also know that there are a lot of numbers that can back that up. Right? So, by 2020, 85% of all customer interactions will not have a human involved at all. Right? That's a big number. 52% of people, or customers, will not engage with a brand if they have a below average mobile experience. And the last one, which is super interesting, 77% of customers are likely to choose, recommend, and pay more for a service or an offer or a product, right, that offers something a little bit more personal, gives them that personalized experience. Now, these are massive opportunities. These are massive opportunities for companies like IBM, for companies large or small, right, to be able to kind of capitalize on these things. And we've seen, of course, that there are a lot of organizations that do, right? Apple, that's been the core of everything they've done, right? But if we look at some of the older organizations like Coca-Cola and Nike, right, they have transformed their organizations to be more experience-led and design-driven, right? I'm going to use those two terms quite a bit, right? Experience-led, design-driven. So when we think about these types of organizations and how they are shifting towards this experience-led, design-driven approach, they are reaping those benefits, right? Organizations that have design at their core have better sales revenue, better engagement, better retention, and faster product cycles. So when we talk about product cycles, they're actually able to get out into the market faster, and they're able to iterate based on user needs and anticipate them and be able to continually push things out faster. Now, another organization that also has shifted gears towards an experience-led, design-driven approach is IBM. Right? And I want to mention IBM today because I was lucky enough to be part of this digital transformation journey that they went through, right? Where they focused on the experience, they focused on the design. But also because IBM has defined a model, they've defined an approach that can be replicated across organizations. Again, large or small. So how many of you guys have heard of IBM? Okay, yeah, clearly. Okay, so what do you guys know about IBM? Oh, not anymore. Anything else? Okay. So, yes, absolutely, right? So to kind of put it, to summarize it, we do a lot of things, like a lot of things, right? And that's actually one of the reasons why I absolutely love working with IBM, is because you literally have the options to do whatever you want. But over the years, IBM, they've been around for over 100 years, right? They've got, what, 350,000 employees, operating in more than 100 countries, right? It's a massive organization. How do you shift an organization like that, right, to be more experience-led and design-driven? So, at the end of the day, design is still in our DNA. This was a memo that was written by our CEO a long time ago, in 1966, right? It said, good design is good business, right? So design has always been at our core. But in 2012, we put a renewed focus on design, right? And we call that IBM design. And with IBM design, we had one mission, and one mission specific, right? It's to create a global, sustainable culture of design and design thinking at IBM. Right? So, again, when we look at that mission, right? We're a company of this size. How do you do it? The equation is actually really simple. People, places, practices, and that gets you outcomes. So when I refer to this, right, I'm referring to what we did as IBM, but also what we offer to our clients, right? Because we have been able to deliver this successfully, and we also are able to kind of replicate that for our clients. The example I'm going to give right now is about what we did as IBM, right? So let's look at each one of them. First one is people, and that means acquiring new skill sets in experience design, UX design, UI design, user research, front-end development, right? Bringing in these teams. But when you bring in these teams, where are they going to sit? That's where it takes us to people, to places, sorry. So with places, it's about creating these collaborative spaces, right? We're outside of the norm of just, of these kind of cubicle offices, right? We've now moved to what we call our studios, right? IBM Studios. And our IBM Studios, they basically bring together all these teams, these developers, these designers, strategists like myself, right? Bring them all in, our users, our clients. We bring them all in together, and we co-create. Right? We've got 42 of these studios all over the world. Dubai, obviously, is where I come from. This has basically been successful for us because it gives us an opportunity to really kind of co-create and bring in these teams from all over the world. The last part of it is practices. Right? And when we talk about practices, it's really being able to kind of shift from an engineering-centric approach, which is what IBM does very well, right, to a more user-centric approach. Right? And when you're thinking about it from a user-centric approach, right, there are certain frameworks, certain methodologies that we define. Right? Whether that's our design language, whether that's our user research framework, but most notably, it's our IBM design thinking approach. Right? We are not saying that we created design thinking, not at all. Right? We know that. But what's different about IBM design thinking is that we focus on speed and scale. Get things out into the market, build it, get it out into the market, keep going, right? Faster. Right? This is kind of something that summarizes all of that together. So that will summarize those three things, right? People, places, practices.